Hi, welcome back to SwissWatchExpo. Jason here, and today we got another size comparison that I think you guys will really enjoy, so stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. So today we're going to do a little bit of a size comparison on probably one of Rolex's top models that we sell here. And the reason why I want to do a little bit of a size comparison here today is a lot of our clients are purchasing these online, sight unseen. We do offer FaceTime calls to kind of do a little bit of a size comparison for you before you make your final purchase on this. But a lot of the times you're in a rush, you want to go ahead and place the order for it, and you're just not quite sure how it's going to look on your wrist. So I wanted to do a little bit of a size comparison here. So today we have the 34mm Air King, then we have the 36mm Datejust, and followed by the 41mm Datejust right over here. So I want to kind of try these on and show you what the size differences look like on your wrist here. And I did pick out the gorgeous blue dial that Rolex offers. It's one of my absolute favorites because if you take a close look at the way that Rolex does their blue, it's not just like a flat blue or a matte blue color. It actually has a really nice sheen to it. And in certain lighting, it could be like a really dark blue or it can be a really light blue in direct sunlight. So I think it's just a really gorgeous dial color. So let me know in the comments down below on what your favorite dial color is. So we're going to start here with the Air King, and of course this one was introduced in 1945 by Rolex here, and it is in the 34mm case size. So what I want to go ahead and do is try this on. And if you take a really close look, when these were first introduced, this was kind of the staple size for a timepiece here. So the 34mm was the average size, and then as the years went by, it kind of trended towards the larger sizes. But believe it or not, at this moment in time, it's actually trending back into the smaller timepieces, which I think is really cool because for me, my wrists are pretty small. I would probably say it's about a 6 3/4 to 7-inch wrist here. And the 34mm is a really nice size that I think is good for everyday wear. So if you take a really close look, it's something that's going to be something that's not too big, but also not too small. Now, however, if you do have a larger wrist size, it might be hard to tell online whether this is going to be the right size for you. So I just want to go ahead and display this and show you what that difference kind of looks like. So also in the same year, Rolex decided they want to create what was called the Datejust. And with the Datejust, it was created in the 36mm case size, which I think is actually a really perfect size where you're not getting like a really small timepiece or a really large timepiece. I think if I was to purchase one personally for myself, I would go with the Datejust 36 here. So going ahead and trying this on my wrist right here, you can see that with the date wheel right there, it's a really nice size for me. And again, I have a 6 3/4 to 7-inch wrist, and I think this is just a really nice size. Just to compare it real quick to the 34mm case size, there's not a huge difference when you're just looking at it side by side, but once you have it on your wrist, there might be a little bit of that variance there. So if you're just not quite sure if you want to go with the larger timepiece or a smaller timepiece, it's always safe to say to go with the classic Datejust in the 36mm case size here. So jumping into 2009, where Rolex introduced the Datejust 2 for a very short period of time, where it was in the 41mm case size. It was a little bit wider, it was a little bit thicker on the case. So Rolex decided they want to revamp it a little bit. So in 2016, they decided they want to go ahead and introduce what's called the Datejust 41. And that's what we have right here. And as of right now, in these times, the Datejust 41 is probably the most popular model that Rolex is introducing right now. And I think it's a great size. Now for me, it might be a little bit large for my wrist, but I think for the average person that is looking for a timepiece, the Datejust 41 is a really nice size. And I'm going to go ahead and get this tried on here. So if you take a look at the Datejust 41 right here, it's a really nice size. It takes the whole length of my wrist right here. Now for me as an everyday wear, this might be a little bit cumbersome just because my wrist size is a little bit smaller, but if you do have the larger wrist size, this is a really nice size right here. This is one of Rolex's most popular models. And also just to compare it to the 36mm case size, you can see that there is a pretty significant difference between these two sizes here. So if you are browsing online and you're just not quite sure what that difference is, when you're talking about a 5 millimeter difference, you can see it on the wrist, it's going to be quite a bit of a difference there. So when you're looking online, just make sure that you are checking in our product description. We do list all the millimeter sizes in there. So we can see that we have a lot of clients that will purchase the Air King in the 34 millimeter. They receive it, and when they see it on their wrist, like, man, I didn't realize it was actually going to be this small on my wrist. So if you look right here, you can see that there is quite a bit of a difference between these three sizes here. So when you are looking at SwissWatchExpo.com, take a look at our different selections here. Let me know down below on what your favorite choice is as far as the dial size. And check us out next time on Swiss Watch Expo.